Job 21. Then Job answered, listen carefully to my words. Let this be the consolation you offer me. Bear with me, and I will speak. And after I have spoken, you may mock on. Is my complaint against a man? If so, why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled. Put your hands over your mouth. For when I think about this, I am terrified, and my body feels a shudder. Why do the evil go on living, grow old, ever increase in power? Their families are firmly established in their presence, their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe and without fear, and no rod of punishment from God is upon them. Their bulls breed without fail. Their cows calf and do not miscarry. They allow their children to run like a flock. Their little ones dance about. They sing to the accompaniment of tambourine and harp and make merry to the sound of the flute. They live out their years in prosperity and go down to the grave in peace. So they say to God, turn away from us. We do not want to know your ways. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? What would we gain if we were to pray to him? But their prosperity is not their own doing. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How often is the lamp of the wicked extinguished? How often does their misfortune come upon them? How often does God apportion pain to them in his anger? How often are they like straw before the wind and like chaff swept away by the whirlwind? You may say, God stores up a man's punishment for his children. Instead, let him repay the man himself, so that I may be humbled. Let his own eyes see his destruction. Let him drink of the anger of the Almighty. For what is his intent in his home after his death, when the number of his months has been broken off? Can anyone teach God knowledge, since he judges those that are on high? One man dies in his full vigor, completely secure and prosperous, his body well nourished, and the marrow of his bones moist. And another man dies in bitterness of soul, never having tasted anything good. Together they lie down in the dust, and the worms cover over them both. Yes, I know what you are thinking, the schemes by which you wronged me. For you say, where now is the nobleman's house, and where are the tents in which the wicked lived? Have you never questioned those who travel the roads? Do you not recognize their accounts, that the evil man is spared from the day of his misfortune, that he is delivered from the day of God's wrath? No one devours his conduct to his face. No one repays him for what he has done. And when he is carried to his tomb, and watch it keep over the funeral mounds, the clods of the torrent valley are sweet to him. Behind him everybody follows in procession, and before he goes a countless throng. So how can you console me with your futile words? Nothing is left of your answers but deception. Boom. Bugs Bunny for presidents, we'd have good eyesight with all those carrots. There we go. All right, so Job is countering his friend who just refuted him and said that evil people get punishment, nobody escapes. And he's going, hey, look around, man. Are you an idiot? Like, look around. You can see that person over there. You know they're doing wrong. You know they are taunting God, and yet they die. And they are never punished. The day of God's judgment never came upon that person over there that we all know is doing wrong. Okay? So listen carefully to my words. Let this be the consolation you offered me. You're consoling me. You were tender with me. Great. I'm going to give that right tenderness back to you, my friend. Bear with me while I speak, and after I've spoken, you may mock on. I love that t-shirt. I really want somebody to comment on it. Nobody's ever commented on that t-shirt that I have. After I have spoken, mock on. That's the translation I used. You may mock. Like the mock on is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's fun for me. That's all I can say. Is my complaint against a man? If so, why should I not be impatient? My complaint's not against a man who I have to wait for, who has to deliberate. My complaint is against God. I should be impatient. I shouldn't have to wait. God is the one who did it. I want a hearing with God. I want it now. He doesn't have to present his case. He doesn't, compile his case. He doesn't have to put it together. He doesn't get all these things. No, God can instantly answer because God has already acted. So I want it now. Look at me and be appalled. So look at me. You know why you should be appalled? Because I did nothing wrong. You should look at me and be terrified because this can happen to you. You think I did something wrong. You are wrong, my friend. I did nothing. And look what happened to me. I am a terror to people. Nobody wants to see. They look at me, they terrify. They are shudder when they see the grotesqueness of what I've become. But the wicked go on living and they grow old and even increase in power. Like, hey, you're trying to spout wisdom from the ancient days, and yet your wisdom doesn't hold true to life. That's what Job is saying. Your wisdom doesn't hold true to life. You want to accuse me of being evil because evil is happening to me. Let's go look at people we know are all evil and see no evil happening to them. And we even have people that, they've gone to the grave and they had a whole procession behind them. I know I'm skipping way ahead. Had a whole procession and people honoring them in their death, even in their wickedness. They never had comeuppance. So this can't be your answer. You're wrong. Those who are wicked are actually safe in their house. They're without fear. They don't have any of God coming against them. And they're what they do. Like they breed bulls. They don't have miscarriages. They don't have problems with that. And their children are flourishing. They're not in abundant, their whole household, everything they touch is expanding. They sing to the accompaniment of tambourine. They're having joy and making melody. Merry melodies, my friend. They live their years in prosperity. They go down to the grave in peace. So they say, turn away from us. We do not want to know your ways. Who, the Almighty, should serve him. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? Like we're already prospering over here. We don't need you. We're doing it just fine. We're good. We don't need you, God. What would we gain if we were to pray to him? Like there's nothing more that we would gain. But their prosperity is not their own doing. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. So it's not their own doing. They think it's their own doing. They think they're all that in a bag of chips. They're not. But I'm not in that group of counsel. I am not there. How often is the lamp of the wicked extinguished? This is a rhetorical question. Like, you think it every single time they get squashed. I look around. I don't see it. The wicked seem to prosper. That seems true. That generation after generation, the wicked seem to prosper and not get squashed. God is not just here waiting to squash those, although this is the perception of a lot of people. God's just waiting for you to mess up and he's going to squash you. That's not any example of that happening. It is people doing wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, and God being long-suffering and God being patient and then finally acting. That is the motif that we see throughout Scripture. How often are they like straw before the wind? Like the chaff that's blown away. Like, we don't see them disappearing all over the place. They wouldn't last. They wouldn't keep doing it. If the wicked were destroyed that way, why would the people go do wicked? You may say God stores up for it. So I know what your counter is going to be. Well, he's storing it up and he's going to punish the children, my friend. So you didn't get to see it, my friend, because you didn't wait long enough for all of that to come upon his children, which is what he was going to do. He's going to repay that. It's like, no. Instead, let him repay the man for the man so that he may be humbled. No, I'm not buying your God will store it up for the children, which is going to be your countermand argument to this. You already said God doesn't let it go unpunished, and now you're going to counter it? No, I'm not going to accept it. Not going to let it go. Let him drink the anger of the Almighty. Let the wicked actually get it. You're saying that I'm the wicked because I'm getting it, and I'm not getting. Can anyone teach God knowledge? Okay. What you're trying to do is teach God knowledge, I think is what he's saying, since he judges those that are on high. So there is nothing that I can do to teach God knowledge. I'm trying to get my audience with God. I'm trying to have him explain it to me, to understand that I did nothing wrong. One man dies in full vigor, completely secure and prosperous, a man well-nourished and marrow in his bones, and another man dies bitterness of soul, never tasted anything good. Together they go down to dust, and the worms eat them both. So no matter if you're rich or poor, you end up dead. You end up dead. Yes, I know you are thinking, the schemes by which you would wrong me. I know what you're thinking. You're going to say more horrible things. I know all of your counter arguments to the things that I'm saying, and you're still wrong. Where now is the nobleman's house, and where are the tents where the wicked live? Have you never questioned those who travel on the road? Do you not recognize their account, that the evil man is spared and the day of misfortune? Like, again, he's going back to, do you not notice all of these people who have escaped? They have escaped. No one denounces his conduct to his face. No one repay. Like, the person who has power to retaliate, you don't call them out on what they do. You don't. And when he is carried off to his tomb and he is kept over a funeral mound, the clods of the torrent valley are swept over him, behind him every procession. So we know what happens to the wicked, powerful people. They get a big funeral, and no one says anything against them. So how can you console me with your futile words? Nothing is left of your answers but deception. So you're just full of deception. You're deceiving yourself. You're giving platitudes. You're trying to make yourself feel better, and you're not doing anything to make me feel better. You're justifying yourself now. You're arguing against your own problem because you're the one that stated falsehoods to begin with, instead of just comforting me. Come on.